What's up viewers, Eric from Sonic. Today I'm here to update you guys on the Apple CarPlay for Lexus and Toyota, and also to do a very detailed installation instructions on this Lexus GS, including where to mount your interface, how to route the wires, and so forth. And in regards to the updates to the Apple CarPlay system, we were able to get rid of the mic so that you don't have to route the mic all the way to the top. That's kind of a painful process. So now you'll be able to utilize the factory mic to use with this interface. In addition to that, you can also keep your Bluetooth turned on and paired from your phone to your car system without affecting this interface. So those are two major updates in regards to this. I want to make sure we get the best possible product out to you guys to gain the most satisfaction from every one of you guys. Our Android system is a bit glitchy, so we're going to be holding that side off. We're going to wait until the end of the year to really refine the Android system. So that's going to be coming closer to the end of the year or maybe even beginning of next year. So we're going to have to ask you Android users to be a bit more patient with us. So for now, this system only works for the Apple CarPlay system. All right, well, that's enough of me talking. Let's go ahead, go in the car and get our installation started. Okay, now that we're in the car, the first thing we want to do, we want to remove this. It's very, very easy. You could either use a panel removal tool, stick a panel removal tool down in this corner, and then pry it out. Or if you have really strong fingers, you could just get a really good grip in the corner and just pull towards you, just like that. And disconnect the start button. Grab a 10mm socket wrench with an extension, one down here and one on the other side. And you are going to turn counterclockwise and remove these two 10mm bolts. Okay, next we are going to pull the radio out. But before you do so, grab a hold of some blankets, put it over here, make sure it's nice and covered, and then pull it out and just set it out onto the blanket, just like that. Okay, and once it's out, we're just gonna leave it out for a moment and then we're gonna take the top screen out. Okay, for this top screen, there's 1, 2, 3 plastic screws that you need to remove. These are Phillips screwdriver screws, and you'll need to use a fat Phillips screwdriver like this and turn it counterclockwise. You have to be very, very light on your pressure. I already did this, so I'm not going to show it to you right now, but it's a very, very simple process. Once you unscrew that, you can remove the clips that surround it. Pull that out, and once you have that out, you'll have 3 empty holes. And once you have 3 empty holes, you're ready to remove this. And before you remove this, it's very easy to scratch up this area and this area. So I recommend you guys to put some blue masking tape over here to protect it. If not, just be very careful not to scratch these 2 areas. Okay, just like that. And now you have 4 10mm bolts that you need to remove. Okay, once those bolts are out, lay a clean sheet of towel like this and just gently place this out and lay it onto your towel. And the next step is we need to drop the glove compartment. All right, first we want to remove this panel over here. Just use a panel removal tool like this and pry it out. The next step is to remove this bottom panel piece. This is only being held by clips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 clips. And detach the bottom guides and carefully bring it out. And once this is out, you could just kind of let it hang over here. Just make sure it doesn't get in the way of things or scratch anything. Just be a bit careful. Okay, the next step is to remove the 2 bolts, 10mm here and here, and then open the glove box and then remove the 3 Phillips screws. 1, 2, 3, and it should drop. All right, now that those bolts and screws are removed, the next step is just pull on it because the only thing that's holding it are some clips. Now we have a lot of room where we can mount the interfaces. So we removed some connectors here just so I could pull the glove box a little bit further back so I could rest it on the chair. And now we have access to all this where we are going to be mounting our interface. Okay, the first connector that we're going to be working on is this really big connector over here. So go ahead and just place your hand or finger, or you might have to use a little tool, press that tab up, it'll release, and just pull on this harness. And you'll notice it's the largest connector that we have in our kit. It will plug right into it, just like that, lock it into place. And then we'll connect the other side, just like that. So once that is connected, there's only one more connector that you need to connect behind this radio, which is this piece right here. This is for your auxiliary. I'm going to disconnect this, just like that, and then go like this. This one right here. Okay, and then now look for this piece over here, which is connected to the main harness, and we're going to route this wire to behind the top screen. So if you stick your hand over here inside, go to the left, go left up, and you'll see that there's an opening that actually connects the top screen to the bottom radio. It's a very tight space, but there is an opening where you can actually fit these connectors through. So here it is. We're able to pull the wire up here. All right, and once we have this up here, we are going to connect this to this black connector. So remove this, we're going to daisy chain it, our harness into the connector, and then the back side connects to the car side, just like that. And while we're up there, we have another connector that we want to connect to. So if you look in the kit, you'll find a connector, two connectors, GVIF connectors. And on the back side of it, the blue side, you'll find this. The male side goes to the screen, and the female side goes to the car side, just like that. So we will need to route these three wires to behind the glove compartment, these two GVIF cables, and this power wire to power up the Apple CarPlay system. All right, so if you stick your hand over here and then stick your hand over here, you'll be able to touch your fingers. So within that opening, we went ahead and brought down the harness. There's some sharp edges down here, so just be careful not to hurt yourself doing this. Let's go ahead and also route the power wire for the CarPlay. Okay, so once we have this connection here, let's connect the rest of the interfaces. Here's the GVIF cables. This is the power and the ground for your Apple CarPlay system. Okay, the HDMI and connecting to each other, just like this. And then our goal is to mount both of these in here, and we're going to secure it with some double-sided tape. We have a few more wires that we need to deal with. The main harness wire, and this one we're going to connect to the other part of the harness. I'm just gonna connect to this piece over here. This is the part that's coming out of the main harness, the large connector that we connected earlier. So to let it come out over here. Okay, just like that. Okay, and then the next connector is this AUX with a 3.5 millimeter jack. We are also going to route this through this side right here. Okay, just like that. And then we are going to connect this to the Apple box. Here's the mic, 3.5 millimeter. It's connected to the main harness, and this interfaces with the factory mic. So we're not going to be using any aftermarket mics. All right, so we got the mic connected, the aux, the HDMI cable, the USB cable, which we will route later, and we have the main harness, the GVIF cables, and also the HDMI cable on this side. Don't forget about the dip switch. Check your manual, make sure you have the correct dip switch depending on which vehicle you are installing it to. So we also routed this USB connector from back here. There's this panel on the back side of the glove compartment where you can actually push out, just being held by clips. And we pushed it through to the front side right here where we have the USB connection. So this is a good place to mount it. All right, so now that everything is connected, before we put everything back and install and mount it in place, let's go ahead and test to make sure everything is working as it should. Okay, perfect. Now the next step is to organize my wires, mount my 2 adapters in that location, and reverse order everything we just did, put everything back, and we're done. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, in regards to routing your wires, instead of trying to place your wires behind the glove compartment, go ahead and route it to the bottom area over here. And then you could go ahead and organize down here and wedge it between this piece and the glove compartment. That's the best area, or else you're gonna have a difficult time putting the glove compartment back in. All right, everybody, we finished installing this. All our panels are back in place. Everything looks pretty much the same except for this cable that we have coming out here. So we routed this through the side panel over here, and let me show you what it's connected to. So if you look deep in here, you'll find that we have a USB hub here, which is connected to this Lightning, just standard Lightning USB cable. Make sure you use a certified Apple one, or else it will not work. So we have that here, and then from this glove box, pulled this panel a bit back, tucked it behind it. Just made it very nice and clean, and it's now coming over here ready to be connected to our iPhone. One side note, for our Toyotas, you're able to use the factory USB port. Unfortunately, that harness doesn't work on the Lexus, because for the Lexus there's a USB hub that splits the USB into 2 connections, and Apple CarPlay does not like, so it doesn't allow it to work when there's a hub in the USB system. So we have this wire coming out here, and let me go ahead and do some demonstration here for you. So this is a home screen of this Lexus infotainment system on this non-nav GS. Yours might look a bit different. Okay, and then before we get into our Apple CarPlay mode, what you want to do is, depending on which source you're on, go ahead and press the source button, and you want to pick AUX. And once you're in this mode, that's all you need to do. Go ahead and long press the home button. Automatically take you to the Apple CarPlay mode. As you can see, the system is ready. So it's telling you the system is ready for you to plug a phone onto. So I have here connected to a 6S Plus. And as you can see, put you in the Apple CarPlay mode. First time you connect, you'll have to authorize the device to work with your phone. So you're gonna have to press yes a few times. And once you do that, your phone will remember that it was connected. And next time it's connect to this device, it will automatically put you into the Apple CarPlay mode, just like how it did right now. And now you'll be using this factory Lexus joystick, either the joystick, the touchpad, or the knob to navigate through the different applications as we see here. And also, depending on which applications you have on your phone, will show on the Apple CarPlay. And now you'll be able to use Google Maps on your car, and even applications such as Waze. And while you're navigating through your destination, you can also listen to music such as Pandora. And if you want to use Siri, just go ahead and press the menu button. Call Beat Sonic USA. Okay, so whenever you make a phone call with this app, it will automatically put you in the Bluetooth mode, so that you'll be using your factory Bluetooth connected to your phone to make phone calls and also to receive phone calls. You can also press this button on the on hook to pick up phone calls as well. So let me talk about the different controls that you retain, the controls that you'll lose, okay? So when you do any climate control changes, for a moment, it will switch back to your factory mode. Any climate control changes, because so that you could see what type of changes are being made on your climate control. And then you can also use the back button here. So for example, I'll be here, go back. It'll take you back to your home menu. The only thing is, when you change your volume, you will not be able to see the actual volume changes that's being made. Okay, unless you're actually in the home mode like this. Okay, and of course it's pretty obvious, but all these functions will work while the vehicle is driving. So none of this will be locked out. And unfortunately, it won't play movies like YouTube and Netflix If you do want to watch movies while you're driving or want to play videos, that's the smartphone mirroring is what you want. All right, well, thanks for watching our updated installation demonstration on this Lexus GS installing our Apple CarPlay system. If you have any additional questions, please ask below or email us at info@bsonicusa.com. Thank you.